I wouldn't say rant video, but the Matrix had me messed up today, man. This Matrix had me messed up, man. I really think that I've been putting too much pressure on myself, and I think I'm gonna speak for a lot of people in this video. I think that the current times we're living in. Let me just go turn off my fan real quick, y'all. This fan is way too cold. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, y'all. Yeah, I really think that I have been putting too much pressure on myself. I really do. And this morning on social media, I saw that Kanye West and Khloe Kardashian were arguing. And I think if you guys are on Twitter, especially, you guys will see how many people have been breaking up due to the retrograde, the Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde, I mean, Mars retrograde. I mean, there's been so many things in retrograde that it's actually insane. And, majority of us out here have, big ambitions, big dreams. People want to manifest all these cool things. And then today it hit me, like, if these billionaires and these rich people are not even happy, like, not to sound cliche, but like these people who are like, they don't have to worry about their bills being paid. They don't have to worry about not living their dreams. They don't have to worry about a lot of things that most, I would say probably 99.9% of people have to worry about, And these people don't have to worry about things that people out here are worrying about. And they're not even happy. Like, can you imagine having millions and millions of dollars in your bank account? Like, forget millions, billions of dollars in your bank account, and you're still arguing with people. These people still have mental health issues. Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand. Like, I get that they're still human, but it's just crazy to think about. You have all this success, you have all this money, and you're still having beef with people. You're still having to have issues. Like, what the heck? Like, if I was a millionaire, why would I have those issues? Why would I have those problems? Like, just the feeling of all your personal property and belongings, your health care, everything being totally unlimited. Like, imagine getting up like in the day, or like to start your day, and like you could buy any meal, you could buy any car, like you could travel anywhere for the most part, and like you're still unhappy, you're still not content with life. Like, I remember one time I was watching one of these interviews years ago, and this person was like, oh, once you hit your first million, then you're gonna want 10 million, and then once you hit 10 million, you're gonna want 100 million. Like, okay, like this rat race, like this matrix is so dub. Like, it's a dub, bro. Like, it's a joke. Like, people are never satisfied. In my life, I have hit contentment and satisfaction many times. Like, truthfully, I bought purses I want, I've driven cars I never thought I would drive. Like, I've vacationed, not everywhere, but like I've taken vacations places that I never thought that I would get to go. You see what I'm saying? And I've been content. I didn't need a private jet plane to be content. I didn't need no damn Bentley to be content. Like, I don't get these people. And this is the people and the representation in society that we're supposed to be following after, but yet they're all miserable. They're all absolutely miserable. So I'm like, wait, like, money is a tool. Money is something that sadly we all need to function and have shelter, have food, have a car. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I'm like, why are we putting so much pressure on ourselves? We've been through pandemics. We've been through, now we're globally, we're all going through this economic crisis. We're witnessing war and violence in Europe and other places in the world. We're witnessing crazy so-called natural disasters. Just recently, where I live and neighboring areas, this Hurricane Ian, took out people's homes. People's homes are floating in the water due to climate change, as they want to say, whatever, with weather control and everything else. You know, I can't keep up. I can't keep up, y'all. I'm like, I don't know what it is today. Like, I just hit like this. I don't know, like everything just clicked. And I'm like, why am I witnessing two billionaires, two millionaires, billionaire millionaires? Why am I witnessing people who are rich living a miserable life when everybody else out here is wishing and praying and manifesting to have that kind of life? The glitz, the glamour, the fame, the fortune. And they're all miserable. They still have probably more problems than the average person because they're fighting every day. They're getting sued every day for the dumbest stuff. When you think about it, it's really a dub. It's a complete dub. Whether you're so-called rich or poor, you have problems. This is really what I'm thinking about today. Like, whether you're rich or poor, you're going to have some kind of problem. People could be 100 millionaires and then they have somebody sues them. They have one lawsuit and people, their wealth is gone. The whole thing is just crazy. And I've never got to a point, I don't think that I can recall in my life, where I've had to sit on the ground and sigh. And my kitten came up to me, almost like encouraging me, like pep talking me. This happened today. This is not a joke. Like, this happened to me today. Like, I can't even call it burnt out. Like, I could not process my all the responsibilities and all the thoughts and all the obligations and all the things that I have to do, that I have to think about for the future, that I'm currently dealing with. It's like my brain has been going into overdrive all year, to the point where it's like it's freezing on me. Like, my brain will just freeze. And that's a sign that to me, that I'm overwhelmed, that I'm burnt out, that I'm exhausted. Yes, I'm exhausted. Yes, I am. Okay, I'm back, y'all. I thought I had to check the door, but I just checked my app. It's not there yet. So, I don't know. I've never had that feeling. I've never had that realization in this way. I've never, like, ever. And I literally became so overwhelmed. I just got down on my knees and laid on the floor. Because I'm like, it's too much. I pay a lot of bills already. Like, I pay a lot of bills. And me thinking about, as I'm getting older in life, which is a gift, because, some people don't even make it. You know what I'm saying? Past teenage, past early 20. I mean, people dropping like flies out here. So I have to keep that in mind. But at the same time, I'm like, thinking about the future and like the idea of paying more bills and more responsibility. Like, in my head, I'm like, you know what? I really said to myself for the first time in my life, like today, I was like, you know what? Like, this adult life is way too hard. Like, the way that, and especially in the times we're living in, do I think that I and you and other people would feel this way 10 years ago, 15 years ago? Maybe, but not to this level of extreme. Not this not as extreme. I don't want to belittle people's struggle and upward motion and, plight 10, 15 years ago, but come on. Like, this time in the world that people like myself, millennials, Gen Z, are trying to progress is, I will really say, impossible. Like, I laid down on the floor and I was like, this is impossible. People expect you, because of technology, because of your age, whatever, to just snap into action. Ignore everything happening in the world. Ignore the fact that everything is so unfair. Wages suck. The list goes on and on. Ignore all of that, but because you have technology, people look at you like you're supposed to have all the answers. Like you're supposed to just make it happen. And quite frankly, I'm sick of that. I'm actually sick of it. Like, it's not fair. It's not fair. It was never fair, but now it's like, it's really not fair. And I had to lay on the floor. I had to literally lay on the floor and just stop my brain from thinking. Just stop everything. Just take a minute to just take a break and pause. Because it wasn't making any sense to me, It wasn't making any sense to me. And I'm like, then I went on the couch and I'm like, you know what? I'm just too hard on myself. Like, I'm just way too hard on myself. I put too much pressure on myself. I'm not the only millennial. I'm not the only Gen Z. I'm not the only person out here who, you have these big dreams. You have these huge ideas, but then you need the money to do it. You need the time to do it. You need a legion of angels. You need multiple miracles. You need multiple manifestations. You need things to just kind of come out of thin air in order for you to do everything that you think that you need to do in this lifetime. And I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of putting the pressure on myself. I'm tired of having to prove something, especially to people that don't even know me. I'm like, sometimes I look back on certain conversations and I'm like, people don't even know me. Like in real life, I had to check some people today, like, you guys, you think you have all the answers and all the right, but you have none. You know what I'm saying? Like zero. And it's just crazy. I think that everything that's been happening, since 2020, I think is irrehensible. I think it's so unfair, and people as a collective need a mental break. They need a chance to just say, "Oh my God, life is so crazy right now. Everything is so out of control." I remember when I could just get in my car and go wherever I wanted to go. And now with the gas prices, I'm like, I would be a fool. I would literally be a fool to take my car and go to a whole different city 20 plus miles away, like I used to, and meet up and all this type of stuff. Like, I can't even do that. I could, but I don't even want to, because I'm like, that's going to cost me an arm, leg, and a foot. Everything costs money. Everything costs money. Nothing is free. Nothing, hardly anything is free except YouTube, really, in my mind. And sometimes water. And since I became a teenager back in the day, they started charging for water. They didn't always have bottled water. They didn't always charge for water. So there's a price, there's a cost, there's a price tag. There is always something that is, to me, ridiculous. And I may be the only person to just ever say out loud, I am going to stop putting pressure on myself. These goals, and I'm going to be straight up, these goals that I had to put on myself, these ideas that I've been putting on myself, I'm like, I've not even changed any of my goals, any of my plans during the pandemic, and I'm trying to fit these goals and these plans into a timeline in history that is so violent, that is so unfair, that is so chaotic. It don't make no sense. I'm trying to fit the same, like I had to really, listen, I had to really like lay on the floor and realize this for real. Like all these things, all these plans, all these ideas, concepts, events, I travel, all these things that I wanted to do that I'm trying to do, I'm not even taking into account the trauma, the collective energy. I'm not even really taking into account the fact that the diseases are spreading like wildfire. I'm not taking these things into account. Not the way that I should have. So I've been trying to be like super tough, super resilient, but then I'm like, you know what? This is not it. When you're trying to manifest, when you are manifesting, when you are planning out your life, your year, your week, your month, and you're trying to be on top of things, you can't really think about reality. But then like today, sometimes reality just settles in and you're like, are you pushing yourself too hard? Are you expecting things to happen the way they would have happened pre-pandemic? Like I really have to like take this in. And maybe I'm on here to have one of you out here take this in and realize and wake up like you're not living in the same world. We have jumped timelines. We are in a different timeline that is really dark. And I'm not going to like overemphasize that. That is what it is. Gas prices are beyond quadruple they were 2 years ago. So the things that you would do or are being expected to do, you're having to pay 4 times the price for it. Inflation, recession, everything else. 1 second. I don't want my phone to go dead on me. My phone, every time I come on live, my phone goes dead on me because I overestimate this stupid thing. Not all the time, but a lot of times it happens to me. 1 second, y'all. So I don't have the magic answer, and I'm just speaking as a person. I'm not speaking as a content creator. I'm not speaking as a creative director. I'm not speaking as a business owner. I'm not speaking as a consumer. I'm not speaking as a millennial. I'm speaking right now as a human being, a woman, and I'm saying this is crazy. You know, the comparisons, the goal chasing, all this has, I almost feel like it has to stop because it's not helping. All it's doing is pushing people into depression. All it's doing is pushing people into comparison. All it's doing, I really feel for me, is making me be hard on myself. Why am I being hard on myself when I've done majority of everything I've ever wanted to do? Like, I have nothing else to prove in my life personally. Like everything that I've ever wanted to do, I've done for the most part, like truthfully, you know? So I'm over here like, why am I not seeing it in a perspective of like, we're in a really bad time and I'm not even giving myself the grace to fit those goals and fit this, you know, requirements and all this stuff into this age. Like I wasn't even doing that for like 2+ years. And when you reach burnout and when you reach exhaustion, you see people around you crumbling, you see people having breakdowns. Like I went out recently with my friends. One of the places we went to was a restaurant, and our waiter literally had a breakdown. A mother, single mom, Caucasian, by the way, was crying to us. Like she was having a really bad work day and she was talking about like how expensive everything is, how hard everything. And like I felt every word she was saying. I really did. And even in moments like that, I'm like, we have to stop trying to like keep up with the Joneses. Stop trying to keep up with how our life was 2 years ago. That's not the reality right now. I'm not even going to cap to you. There's been things in my life where I'm like, do I even need to keep this? Do I need to sell this? Do I need to just be like a real millennial, like a millennial, what do you call it? Minimalist? Because I don't need all this stress. Like, I don't need it. For real. I'm like, being in college, coming out of college, I could have never expected a life like this, a world like this. And I'm going to say a big F you to every single boomer who's had an attitude with me, or my peers, or anybody else out here who's been a straight hater, because they love to hate on us. They love to put us in a box of what we can and cannot do. But you have to understand that people, all these things take, all these big plans and these things take money, take time, take energy, take sacrifice. It's not just about sitting down and twiddling your thumbs. Like, these dreams, including myself, these dreams, these ideas, these plans that most, I will say millennials, but entrepreneurs, creatives have, it's not for the faint of heart. It is for people who literally have to have, I would say not only privilege, cause I'm gonna put privilege in there, but they would literally have to bust ass. And there's been so many years where I busted my ass and my health suffered so badly. And then I sit back, I think about all the content I can make and all the stories happening, and I'm like, wait, but what about my life? I'm just gonna jump on a camera and cover all these rich, miserable people's lives, but yet I'm right here trying to survive. Like, I'm not gonna sit here in front, you know. I'm being real with you all. There's a lot of videos that I want to do, a lot of things I want to do, but I'm like, I'm sitting here like, wait, I'm only one person. I'm only one person. If I wanted to go hire somebody to work on my second channel or third channel or my business or whatever else I got going on, I'm like, this, I'm supposed to do all of this. Myself, like as an adult in this life, in this world, like I'm really supposed to be like all this. I'm like, this can't be real. I'm not even a parent, y'all. I'm not even a parent. I don't even have no damn kids. Okay? I don't have no kids. And I'm like, this is why people are not sober, bro. This is why people are using things to get by. I don't do those type of things. I don't use substances and stuff like that to get by. You know, I don't. So I'm clean as a whistle. You know, I used to drink coffee like a crazy person in college. I used to drink like, I can't even count how many cups of coffee I'd have a day plus Red Bull. And then once I got to like, I think like 24, 23, I stopped because I saw what it was doing to my health. But when I had the Red Bull, when I had coffee, that was the only way that I was surviving, bro. Plus, you're totally oblivious to life. You know, the pandemic wasn't happening, the prices were not as high. So when you're young and you're just doing things to do it and you got the money or whatever, you're getting help or whatever the case may be, you're living on a cloud. And then until, like I said, until reality comes and hits your ass, you're like, whoa, I can't do all this. So I'm making this video for people who are ambitious and people who are not ambitious. You see what I'm saying? I'm just here to say, like, enough is enough, bro. You know, we can only do so much. I've never complained about having to work hard. I've never in my life really on a deep level ever said this is unfair, this is impossible. And today I took a good look around me. I analyzed everything. I you know, took a good hard look at a lot of things. I'm like, bro, this is impossible. It's impossible. People right now taking out loan after loan after loan, falling into deep depression, trying to prove something. Don't prove nothing to nobody. If that's who I'm talking to, don't do that. Okay? Be real with yourself. Don't get yourself in a bunch of debt. Like right now, my mission is debt-free all the way. You know, I'm personally tired of being a consumer. If you want to know the truth, like I'm tired of it. Like, yes, I like nice things, but like it's in moderation. You know, you don't have to chase material, because if you're chasing that type of stuff, you're never going to be satisfied. That's why that interview that I watched where the person said, when you make your first million, then you want your first 10 million, then you want your first 100 million, then you know, people are never satisfied. That's how it turns into, is like you're always wanting more and more and more and more. You're never happy or satisfied with what you have. And I think the times we're living in, we have to be satisfied. I never really believed in the whole thing of like live below your means. But now I kind of do, because I be seeing how it is out here and I'm like, you know what? This is not realistic. You know, most of us have to work full time. You work your YouTube channel, you work this, you work that on the weekends. You know, shit is not sweet, y'all. I want you to know up front and personal, shit is not sweet. Do not envy, do not be jealous, do not be hating on none of these people who you see out here trying to make it, because it's not what you think it is. And I think, and I'm happy that I'm one of the many few YouTubers who keep it real. A lot of people have mommy and daddy's help or whatever. They have, like, they got a lucky break, or all types of different scenarios. You see what I'm saying? But like, they weren't going through it, like coming up like out the mud like I did. To be honest with you, like, they weren't doing it the way I was doing it. And every step of the way of success I've had, I've been, I think, very candid, like, to be honest with you, maybe even too candid. So if I ever become that person who's a multimillionaire, if I ever become that person who's considered wealthy, like my own cha-ching cha-ching, and my bank account has like over 6 or 7 zeros, like, for real, no, not even six, yeah, yeah, then I'm a testament that anything can happen, because nothing's been easy for me. Not everything's been necessarily hard either, but like, nothing's been like, okay, like smooth sailing, like, oh, this is so easy. Like, no. A lot of us out here who are creatives, who are millennials, we're doing the we're like the pioneers. We're like the very first to step out on the horizon and craft something. A lot of people out here are the first to do it in their family, including myself. And people are looking to you for the answers. People think that because you were raised with a computer, an Apple product, that you just have all this knowledge in your brain, you know? And that's not always the case. We all have to learn something new. We have to take time out of our day to learn new skills. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've told you all, I bought this computer while I was in college. Now, when I was graduated, when I was still in college, I invested in a Canon camera. Told you all this before. If you're new, welcome to the story. I bought this, souped up Canon camera. Never even touched the damn thing. I touched it probably once. So afraid I would drop it or mess it up. I haven't even touched it. Okay, that's all money. That's cash. Not like fake crypto, nothing like in the air. Like, this is actually blood, sweat, and tears I put into like equipment. You see what I'm saying? Decks, like, real life. And sometimes, and others, a lot of people out here, including myself, I just think that we're just too hard on ourselves. We want so much for others and for our legacy and all this stuff, but it's like, what if that never does happen? Like, I don't want to trip nobody up mentally. Like, what if that never did happen? Your life was still worth something. You can't just think that, oh, if I'm not a multimillionaire, my life means nothing. Like, I cannot think like that. I don't think it's healthy for other people to think like that. These are all like mental setups, for us to spiral down. And that's not healthy. When Kate and William got married, her brother did a little speech, at the wedding. And I've heard this quote a lot of times when I've watched, the Church of England. I've watched a lot of people go up and speak, and they always say, if you can live amongst peace with other people, you know what I'm saying? Like live in peace. And that's kind of like what I've adapted this whole year, is like, I just want to be in peace. I don't want to feel like I'm having a, what are we chasing exactly? What are we chasing exactly? And I feel like right now words are failing me, because the feeling that I have, it can't be expressed in the English language. It can't. Some things you feel as you live life, you just cannot express. It's too hard to break down and describe, because it's so complex. It's so crazy to think about. It really is. And regardless of manifestation and all that, success is not always easy necessarily to get, or what you deem as success, or what you deem as worthy. Like, sometimes it is and sometimes it's not. Can we be honest? Like, it's not always just going to be click your fingers and boom, it's in front of you. Like, yes, it's happened to me. Yeah, it probably happened to you. But that's not always how it is. So I no longer want to polish up the reality of this timeline that we're living in. I think that, you know, some people just really be delusional, you know. And I know they say, well, to be happy, to manifest, you gotta be delusional. Yeah, you do, okay? But then sometimes things get too real, and then what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, your tricks can't always carry you out, you know? Like, sometimes you have to like be in real life and really look at things pen to paper and be like, you know what? I don't know about that. You know, I'm not sure about that anymore. I don't know if that's really the right thing, you know? And that's all I'm saying. You know, you can't always just be super positive every single day. Like, you know, and that's what I think fails a lot of people is they live in this fucking facade and they're hurting themselves because they think that by being fake or by being delusional every day is like supposed to help them. But then like you're actually like hurting yourself sometimes because then you're not able to deal with what you really got to deal with. And then you call upon God to help you because you put yourself in a bad situation. I'm just speaking all facts, y'all. So, how do you balance manifestation and delusion and reality? Right now, I'm trying to figure it out just like you all. You know, still manifesting, still making your dreams happen, still trying to chase your dreams, trying to. I hate that word chase now. That word chase, I don't even like to use now. Follow your dreams, follow your path, be in alignment is all Jim Dandy, but other times, you all, it's just not it. Sometimes, some days, you just feel like, you know what? This is ridiculous. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I'm exhausted. I've had enough. I'm ready to tap out. Like, I can't do it, you know? Or I don't have the physical strength to do it. Many times this year, I've had the mental strength. I've had the creativity. I've had the genius, if you will, for a lot of things I don't even speak about on my channel. But then on the opposite side, my body is exhausted. I will literally be like, I physically can't do it. I got this responsibility, I got this bill, I got this person, I got that, I got this, blah, blah, blah. You become overwhelmed. It gets to a point where you're so backed, life is so much that you get like pushed to a wall. You know, and that's why a lot of people break down. You know, I don't know if this is too touchy, but the S word, you know, people taking their own life, you know, if I can touch on that, I don't believe that God sends people to hell that take their own life. I don't believe in that. You know, I never have, because imagine you're God, you know, you're God and you see the BS, you know, that people have to go through, the injustice, the racism, the inequality, the abuse, the mental torment, the programming, you know, that a lot of people have to go through to break through out of this matrix. And if one person cracks and they can't handle it, they can't move forward with their life, who are you to judge? And as God, if you really are about grace and mercy and all that's good and loving, then you would understand that that person just probably could not handle life. You know, I've had some really dark days, but I don't think ever I would ever go as far to hurt myself. You know, I just can't see myself doing that. You know, I've had some really, really dark days, and I've never ever thought of a plan to hurt myself. And when I see people who have or have attempted or they successfully have attempted, there's so many celebrities I can name that I miss. Creatives, artists, singers, DJs, people that I'm like, what? They have this beautiful mansion, they have this amazing career, and they still took their own life. So when people question that, I don't question people having those motives to take themselves out of here. I don't. Anytime, I don't care if I don't even like the person. Even Meghan Markle, I will say, if you want me to take it there. Even Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle claimed that she was gonna take her own life when she was pregnant, and people said to me outright blanket statement, I don't believe her, she's lying, blah blah. Okay, that's your opinion, but I've never challenged a person when they say I'm gonna leave this earth. I'm going to take myself out of here. I have never questioned when a person says that. I don't care who they are. Because you don't know what's going through in their mind and their heart and their psyche. You don't know what they're facing. Even if we don't even like them, you don't even know what they've gone through. So you can't say that, oh, if somebody took their own life, they're selfish. I will never call a person that, ever. Never, because I understand that life is not always fair. I mean, most of the time it's not fair. Okay? So I'm still here. I'm still here. You're still here. And we have to find ways to make our life easier. We have to invest in our environment. We have to invest in our mental, not just mental health. We have to invest in what makes us feel good and stop trying to put all this emphasis on what you don't have and what you're trying to achieve that may not be feasible. I'm gonna say it out loud. It may not be. A lot of things that people want to do in this, like I said, in this timeline, it may not happen. Okay? For I will say majority of people. And I was laying on that couch today, taking a breather, and I said to myself, you know what? I have to adjust my goals. I have to adjust my expectations. I think my expectations are too high, y'all. And it doesn't mean that I'm not, excuse me, it doesn't mean that I'm not ambitious or that I'm not going to still work to the best of my ability. I'm not going to work hard, because working hard is synonymous with toiling, with forcing something. I'm going to work smart. I'm going to work diligently. Okay, I prefer that than saying work hard. I like the phrase work diligently, right? Work smart, work to the best of your ability, maximize time in your day. Do what you can to the best of your ability with what you got. You feel me? And I was laying there, just happened like a couple hours ago. I was laying there like, you know what? I have to adjust my goals. I really think that my goals, my expectations it don't make sense with the current timeline that I'm living in. And it does not mean that I'm not going to manifest, I'm not going to still work. It doesn't mean that. What it means, I'm not going to have that high of an expectation. I'm not going to put that much pressure on myself to say, I must do this by this age. I must have that by that age. Because you know what? If 2020 and this whole decade so far has taught us anything, is that everything is unpredictable right now. Everything is unstable. You know what I'm saying? Everything's unstable. So don't look to your right or your left. Don't covet what your neighbor has. You know, that is in the Bible. Like, do not covet other people's partner, what they have. People covet all the time. People jealous of a lot of things I do. Okay? And probably you guys experience the same thing. But that's not your fault. That's why I'm not jealous of nobody. That's why when people were coming at me with that bullshit, I don't think I forgot either. When I was first doing royal readings and all that, people would be so smart with comments. Oh, that's the real shit. Oh, I said, I'm gonna erase those thoughts now as after I finish this video. But even then, I'd be like, they have no idea what the hell they're even talking about. I'm not jealous of a fucking soul. Real shit. Like, I'm happy for anybody who's happy themselves. I don't want nobody's life that's unhappy and fake and always in legal disputes like freaking Harry and Meghan or anybody else that is off their rocker. Like, that's her life. So anybody who thinks that somebody's jealous of any of these celebrities is crazy, because you're not even in their shoes. This is why I don't understand people hate on people in that way, because it's like you're not even in their shoes. You can dislike what somebody says, what they stand for, but like hating a person, hating on a celebrity, that don't make no sense to me, because like you don't even know them. You see what I'm saying? You can question them because they are public figures, but what I'm saying is like you don't know them at their core. So to hate somebody, to me, is stupid, because you don't know them. You know what I'm saying? I may have commented or done readings on a lot of celebrities, but I don't freaking hate anybody because I'm not even in their shoes. For one, I'm an intuitive, so that's what I do. But I don't then go target the person as a person and say, okay, I hate that person because like I have no right. Nobody has the right to do that or be jealous, in my opinion. Now, if you want what they have or what somebody has, or if you're a guy, let's say for example, you're a guy and you hate a rapper or you're jealous of a rapper because they have a Lamborghini or they have, okay, that's on you. But I'm telling y'all, for real, like I have never been jealous of a soul because I don't know what that person's gone through to get that. I don't know what they've had to do to get that. And I don't want to be in that person's shoes unless it's happening to me. You know, people think they can handle fame. People think they can handle a lot of things in life. People think they can have kids, and then when they get kids, they're stressed out. You know, human beings are dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us are like, you know, are stupid. And we think a lot of things until we get in that position and we're like, oh, ish, I don't want this. Okay. If we're gonna touch a Meghan Markle again, she could speak for herself. She married a prince. She was welcome in. She lived the royal life. She didn't like it. Look at all the backlash she got. So that's just prime exhibit number 1A. Okay, people think they can handle a lot of stuff until they actually have it or get it, and they're like, I don't think this is for me. You know, people say they want to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company until they actually are a CEO, and they're like, I don't want this anymore. I have no sleep. People are pulling at me. People are calling me 24/7. I don't have no love life. These people, I'm telling you, sometimes coveting things, wanting things, manifesting things is really the root of the problems in society. You know, people say, oh, money is the root of all evil. No, it's your desires. It's the needs that is really the root of the problem. Because if you didn't desire something, you wouldn't have the stress. If you didn't desire to be in a certain company or whatever, you wouldn't be pulling your hair out to try to prove yourself. If you're just okay and content with where you are, with who you are right now in the now, you wouldn't feel that way. The only reason why today I felt like, okay, I need to adjust my expectation. I'm looking at these celebrities and these couples on Twitter arguing, and and that was like an eye opener for me. You know, that was a huge eye opener. Like, these people are millionaires and billionaires. Millionaires and billionaires, and they have problems every single day. I don't understand, because I'm like, if I was in that position, but see, I'm not in their position. But you see, that's how humans are. We're looking from the outside in, not the in out. And we're over there like, oh my God, if I was rich, I would never have a Twitter argument with anybody. So this is how the world, the Matrix is. You see, it's all an illusion. It's all this freaking illusion, bro. So I am declaring to myself and to help somebody else out here with their own life, stop putting pressure on yourself. Like, period. Worrying, pressure, anxiety, depression, sadness, overthinking, comparison. These are all things of the, if you want to get biblical, the devil. Okay? Or your ego. Okay? Or what you've been programmed to have in your brain. It's stupid. And it can ruin your life. You know, and it's a very fine line that people have to walk these days, where they're ambitious, they want to make things happen, and then their health, then their reality, you know, then their plan. Like, everything is so tight knit, you know. And how do you find a way out of that? Well, I'm thinking you find a way out of that by just being yourself, by not being hard on yourself, by just doing the best you can. You know, every time that somebody has a breakdown, or that I see, or, you know, comes to me or whatever, like, I always say, like, just do your best. You know, what is stressing going to do for you? What is overanalyzing going to do for you? What is comparing yourself going to do for you? What is listening to all the negative people, smart mouths, smart Alex, assholes, idiots, rude people going to do for you? Like, what do they do for you? Nothing. That's why my personal life, I don't even pay attention to them. Like, now I'm vicious with it. Like, I just tell them straight up, like, I don't want to hear your voice, because you don't know me. You're not in my shoes. Like, period. So I don't want to hear your opinion about what I should do or who I should be. You're not me. Shut the hell up. And my approach is the same with people, online, offline, celebrity, not whatever. Like, people are going to do what they want to do at the end of the day. Like, for real now. Come on. People are going to do what they want to do. Whether you give the best advice in the world, people are still going to shit all over you. Like, it don't make no difference. Like, for real. It don't. It really don't. So, to all my overachievers, my creatives, my millennials, my Gen Z out here, like, especially to y'all women out here, especially, like, stop being your own enemy. Stop self-sabotaging. Stop letting this world get to you. Stop letting your own maybe super high expectations get to you. You know, like sometimes we be in our own way. You know, some things not happening quick enough. We're quick to have a downward spiral or question, even want to question God. And whenever I feel like I'm getting close to that, I stop myself and I'm like, this is not of God, because where God is, where peace is where I want to be. My life is very peaceful. Even though right now I'm just expressing myself, like I have a very peaceful, quiet life right now. Like this whole year I've made it that way on purpose. I've not spoke to people. I don't do certain things that I feel are going to draw too much energy out of me. I'm very selective. I've been very selective this year with what I put my energy towards. And especially if physically and I'm just burnt out and I'm tired and I just can't do something, then I just simply can't fucking do it. It's getting to the point now where it's like it's just that simple. I don't care what people think. I don't care if I wanted to do this year or whatever. Like whatever, okay, if it didn't happen, it didn't happen. You know? And if it did happen, okay, great. Let's move on to the next thing. Like, you know, sometimes you just have to just take note of like this matrix, bro. That's all I'm saying. This matrix will make you feel like what you've done is not enough when it's always been enough. It's always been enough. I can't even count how many things I've achieved in my life by this age, and I'm like over the moon. And then society will put something else in your way and say, well, you don't have this, well, you don't have that. So you obviously are not successful. You see how and even people, maybe people in your life will even come to you and say, that's not nothing, you should do this, or, oh, you haven't done this, or why haven't you done that, blah, blah, blah. And they keep talking and squawking and running their fucking mouth, bro. And that's why I'm saying, like, we have to get back to basics, bro. Yes, I heard somebody say overstimulation. Yeah, some people are overstimulated. Some people are overthinkers. They do too much. They be in their own head. Like, yeah, a lot of people right now are battling with this. You know what I'm saying? And they're seeing themselves as a failure because of what somebody else has spoken over their life. And you have to break that curse. You have to break those people and those voices off of your life. The only person that you should be listening to at the end of the day is your own higher self, yourself. Okay? How you feel, what you think and what you feel is way more important than what I think of you. Way more important than what your father or your mother thinks of you. Way more important than what your neighbor thinks of you. Like, what do you think about you? If you've done all that you can, if you've busted your ass, and people may not even see that, but you've done so much that you never thought you would ever do, and you're tired, sometimes you just have to accept that, okay, you know what? This is a season, or this is how the world is right now. You know, prices are out of control, or jobs suck, or whatever the case may be, or people are not faithful. I don't know, whatever. Make your pick, make your choice. Sometimes you just have to sit in that shit and be like, you know, this is what it is. Fuck it. Like, I'm not going to keep stressing it. I'm not going to keep stressing it because it's not worth my energy. And that's the point that I'm at right now. It's like, you know what? Like, it's just not worth me stressing over. It's not. Nothing is worth me losing my health over. I have been saying this all year, and I never was really saying this to people in my personal life or whatever. Like, I was never really living that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I would down caffeine drinks. I talk about this on Twitter. Like I used to do a lot of caffeine and things like that to keep myself going. And after I saw the effects it had on my body, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. So I stopped. I stopped cold turkey. Like, haven't had coffee for like years. Haven't had a Red Bull in like years. And some people live off of that. Some people live off of smoking and this and that, and they can't even cope. You take that one thing away from them, they can't even finish their day, bro. That's how bad it is out here. Why? Because the Matrix got you in a program. It got you in a system where you are now codependent on that drug or whatever, like even that medication. They wire in a way where you are dependent, and that's not how God intended you to be. Humans are not naturally wired to be that toxic. We're not. But the work system, the workload, the way the world is right now has made people into zombies. I remember a couple years ago, Katy Perry, I think, had a song, Chain of the Rhythm, and she performed it. And I think she had like one of Bob Marley's relatives or sons, like had a couple verses on her song about, like, you know, being trapped, being a slave to the rhythm, being just constantly zombified. And back then, I don't know if the pandemic was around then. I don't think it was, but if it was, whoa, time goes quick. And it wasn't hitting on nothing back then. When she released that song, it really wasn't hitting. It was the purpose of the song wasn't really embodied in the society. But as the pandemic has happened, as things have gotten more expensive, as technology has advanced the way it has, I see her message being shown in reality. Like, people are real life zombies. They have no heart. They have no real emotion. They're living on a rat wheel. They're hooked on all types of stuff to cope, and they're sick. The reality is that they are sick people. They're not healthy people. They're sick. They are dependent upon something. They can't, if you take that away from them, they spaz. Okay, that means that person's an addict. They're addicted to something. It could be anything. It could be food, could be caffeine, could be weed, could be whatever you want to put. Video games, social media, sex. It could really be anything. People are just they're hypnotized. They're hypnotized. A lot of songs, a lot of pop artists are putting out, okay, before the pandemic hit. I don't know how, but I've peeped a lot of stuff, and I'm like, they were not just prophesying it, but they were saying it back then. And now this is a society we see right now. People working 2-3 jobs, 2-3, 4-5 jobs, different incomes, like myself. Okay, trying to get their comfort. Because their one job is not doing, it can't give them a life they really deserve, And that's sad. And that's majority of people. So I am sick and tired of it. Today has just been the day where I'm like, you know what, this is ridiculous. All this pressure, all these expectations, like that either I put on myself or people put on me, or just society, like, the different layers of just manipulation has got to stop. Like, I'm over it. I'm done. I'm tired of it. Like, it's not benefiting me. It's not helping me. You know what I'm saying? Even with YouTube, like, I don't prefer to have my subscribers shown on my channel. But then, I don't know if you guys know, recently YouTube passed this thing where you have to have it shown. They don't even give you, I don't think they even give you the option to hide it. So the whole world has to see how many people you have following you. Why? It's so stupid. It's all about, like, the numbers, and it's just sickening. It's all wired to have you hooked. It really is. And it's to the point where I'm like, if I'm the only one who can see what's happening, if I'm the only one who can feel this, that's fine. But I'm never gonna lie to myself, never gonna live a lie, like, ever. That's one thing I pride myself on. In my life, I have never lied about how I feel about a person, what I dislike or like about a person. I've never in my life ever lived a lie, ever. I am who I am. I do what I want to do, and I say what I want to say. Like, that's just who I am all day, every day. I don't cherry pick nobody. I don't care. I don't care. Like, that's the truth. I don't care what people think. Like, I just do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I'm like, the burdens, the responsibility, just the way that life is very stressful. Just surviving in this life right now is very stressful. And I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. And I have to find ways to relieve that stress. I have to find ways to eliminate people, place, or things, or objects, or distractions that are getting in my way. And that's what for those who've been really following and paying attention and getting their own spiritual down, that's what I've literally been doing. Whether it's relationships, whether it's connect, I don't care what it is. I have been eliminating things that are just in my way because I can't take it no more. I can't. I really can't. So I gotta get off here now, guys. I'm hungry. I gotta spread my bed. I have a lot of things I gotta do still. The day is still young, but I just want to come in here and just set somebody else free and be like, you know what? F it, dude. Like, there's just too much pressure. It's too much confusion. The economy's upside down. The market is totally out of whack. Having a business, there's so many people right now that are trying to do so many things, and they're getting in more debt. They're actually getting in more debt because they can't cover the overhead. They can't cover the employees. They can't. So many people I know, okay, are all trying to do new things to make income. You know what I'm saying? And they're actually getting in a deeper hole because they're not thinking things through. They're just letting society and what's traditionally known wreck their brain, twist them up, control them, contort them, and they're in the same place they where they started. There's no real progress because they've been tricked. They've been absolutely tricked. So when you're doing anything like that or whatever, like, you have to research. You have to research what you're getting yourself into. You have to really understand and take a moment to go within and check your gut, check your intuition as well. People like to minimize intuition, but let me tell you, my intuition has never been wrong, and my intuition has never led me astray. Ever. And it will not lead you astray. So if you're trying to do anything in life that you're not sure about, or a person you're trying to, you're not sure about this person, check your intuition. Your intuition will tell you all you need to know. So anyway, y'all, that is a message for today, is take the pressure off yourself. Maybe adjust your expectations, adjust how you see the world right now, and stop letting the world control you and drive you crazy and make you feel like you're a failure, and make you feel like you have to, do all these crazy things to get ahead. Like, that's not the answer, because that's going to lead you back to the same vicious cycle at point one. It's not going to really elevate you. All it's going to do is keep you in this constant trap, this constant loop of toxic energy, of manipulation, of just psychotic BS. It's not going to actually elevate you. It's not going to have you ascend. It's not going to enlighten you. It's not going to make you a better person. All it's going to do is drain your energy. It's all it's going to do. I'm telling you from experience. So I have to just think differently. I think that one of the issues that I've diagnosed with right now with my life, or with myself, with living in this crazy time, is that, like, I don't think I've really adjusted my goals. I don't feel like I've really adjusted how I see my goals, my ambitions in this timeline, in this context. I just don't think I have. And so therefore I'm thinking that, okay, like, we're all kind of just on autopilot, doing the same things. But it's not the same. It's not the same world. Not the same world, not the same timeline, not the same generation. Everything is totally different in a bad way. So you have to, like, switch it up. You got to kind of, like, put some grace on yourself and not be so hard. God's grace is always sufficient. God's grace is unlimited. But sometimes with ourselves, we're not unlimited. We don't show unlimited grace to ourselves. And so the biggest takeaway from this whole video that I want to give you and give myself is, give that unlimited grace to yourself. Not just other people, not just other, not just your neighbors or your coworkers or whoever, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Like, no, give that unlimited grace to yourself, because you're only one person. And that's why I told that lady that had the breakdown in front of me with my friends. It's like, we told her, like, you're only one person. And as we were speaking to her, I felt like I was also taking something from that message that I gave her. Because as she was crying and sitting next to me, and I was, consoling her, it's like, bro, we're so nice. We're so nice to other people. When people are having a hard time, we're so easy to hug them. But what about ourselves? What about ourselves? We're so easy to give somebody a tissue, a hug. But then when it comes to us, we're so hard on ourselves. Why? You know what I'm saying? And that is a problem that I've identified, not only in our society, but myself. Like, sometimes you just have to just let things be and just take it moment by moment, day by day. Someone even said hour by hour, taking it hour by hour. Like, I ain't never done that. I may have taken it day by day, but I ain't never taken nothing hour by hour now. So you taking things by hour, that means you really about that enlightenment life. That means that you really are on, you're really zoned in, because, like, that means that you're not putting no pressure on yourself, period. I've never done that. And I think now with what's going on in the world, I have to learn how to put the grace, and the mercy on myself, you know, quick to give it to anybody and anybody, but like, what about myself? You know, how many things have I pat myself on the back for that I've gone through? You know, never missed a bill, never, I have been on point from the moment I pay bills in my life. I have never missed a bill in my life. I got an email from a different, saying not only did my credit score go up again, but they're like, you've never missed a bill. You've never missed anything that you had to pay for, not once. I've never been late, period. So I'm like, okay, why don't you look at that? You know, some people don't even pay their bills. You know what I'm saying? Like they have money, but they just don't pay it. They don't want to pay it, or they just forget. You know, no matter how busy I've been, I've always been on point with myself, and I have to give myself more credit. I really do, y'all. You know, I really do. I never promised y'all to do 20,000 videos a week. I ain't never promised y'all that. I never promised y'all that. And if you think I did not. You know what I'm saying? It's a different day. It's a new day. And nowadays, I just do what I can. So if I feel led to do a sign or whatever, or make a video, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm sick of this pressure. I'm sick of these super high expectations that are just these fucking in the air dreams, and things that it just seems so far away. I'm just being honest. Like, some things I be thinking I want to do, I'm like, this is so far away. And if it ain't really physically far away, okay, it is high and hard to achieve. It is maybe too high to achieve, right in this moment. And I have to kind of just like chill out and be like, you know what, like, that's not really gonna help. The way I'm thinking about those things, those goals or whatever, is not gonna help me. And maybe you're somebody watching me as well, where you're like, maybe you didn't realize that you were doing the same thing. You know, you're wanting all these things in your life, but like, you're not giving yourself the grace to even get those things, to achieve those things, or make those ideas happen. You're just putting all this pressure on yourself. Why didn't this happen this time? Why didn't this happen this year? Why didn't this, but why didn't that? You know, why wasn't I born into a rich family? You know, people be putting so much stupid things on themselves, and it defeats the whole purpose. You know, and that's what I had to realize today. It's like, you know what, that's just not it, bro. You know, maybe being a perfectionist, I don't know. You know, it could be a lot of different things, but like, that's just not it. That way of thinking, that way of living is not it. You want to live in a state of ease and harmony and zen. You know, besides this video that I'm making right now that's very passionate, like I said, in my real life, like off camera, I am very calm. I know it's hard to believe in this video, but like, I live my life very like a swan on top of water, you know, in real life. Like, this video, I'm passionate because this is me talking about society right now, and like the pressures of, you know, trying to get from A to B, and you're wanting to go to A to Z, but you got to go through A to B, C, and D, and it's just stressful, you know, and just starting off in life and trying to figure things out. But, you know, most of the time I'm like a swan on water. I don't like to be bothered. I don't like to have no stupid conversation. Like, I'm very like even keel. Like real life, I love to be quiet. You know, I'm on my channel, my YouTube channel. So obviously right now, you all, I'm not gonna be quiet. But I'm saying in my personal life, like in real life, I love to just be silent. I love silence. I love when I don't hear a damn thing. You know, that's why in my bedroom I don't have a TV. I have a TV. I have a flat screen TV, but I never put it up. Because I remember reading an article that said that it's not good to have too much technology near where you sleep. And if you do have a lot of technology or flat screens where you sleep, you're supposed to cover it. You know, feng shui. So, you know, I don't even have a TV in my room because I don't like to have something or noise constantly 24/7. I don't like it. Especially when you come home from work. You know, some people are the first to just turn on the TV, turn the music all the way up max. You know, that's not me. In real life, I'm not that kind of person. I like to just get to catch myself, you know, catch myself and just like be like, oh, okay, job well done. You know, mission accomplished. Okay. You know, what can I do now that's going to help me or benefit me for tomorrow? What can I do today that's going to help me tomorrow? Now that's how I think. You know, I've thought that way for a little bit, but like to really reprogram your mind, like to reprogram your mind to think that way is a whole different can of worms. It's one thing to just have it be every so often kind of thing, but then to like have that kind of life every day, and really understand it and comprehend it and live it and breathe it is a whole different can of worms here. So yeah, right now on camera with you all, I'm sure you're like, yeah, right. But no, like off camera and my like real life, I love silence. I love when it's quiet, just like this. Like, I'll give you an example, just like this. Just quiet. I love that. I love that. And that's how I live most. Was obviously when I'm talking to my friends or my family, like, I prefer a lot of times to just have peace, feel peace within myself, have my environment nice and calm and soothing, like my aesthetic, like my bedroom aesthetic is very calming. And over the past couple of days, I've been trying to add more things to my collection because, I don't know if you all saw the video of, it's kind of off topic, but I don't know if you guys saw the video of Kim Kardashian's skincare slash Skims office. She's a Libra. She's actually born 2 days before me, if y'all didn't know. I share a birthday, not a birthday, but like a similar close proximity to so many celebrities I look up to. It's crazy, or that I like or have a tend to like to. And her aesthetic for her office is like my bedroom. Like, I was shocked. I'm a Libra moon, by the way. So when I saw Kim's video of her office, I was blown away because like my bedroom, like my aesthetic is literally like so close to crazy. And I know it's like a lot of Libra placements. They just like things to be very calm, very neutral colors, beige, white, wood, like this, like, it's very common. And that's literally how we live, literally. It's not like a gimmick. Like, we actually just live, like, just with everything being very zen. Like, that's how I like to live my life. And when I feel like I'm not living like that, or I feel like I'm being pressured in some way, I get upset. Like right now, I'm upset because I'm like, why is that? Why does life have to be so hard? And sometimes life is just hard for no reason. Like, there's things in life that make life hard that I feel with life, it shouldn't be even that hard. You know, things in life, some things are just really hard and they really don't have to be. But they're set up and they're designed to be hard. And they make people stressed out, and that's just not healthy. It's just so unhealthy. So, maybe because I'm a Libra moon, I'm thinking of like balance and pattern. People that are probably astrologers watch me are like, oh my God, like she's just totally being her sign right now. But no, it's true. Like, I don't like to live in chaos. I don't like to have drama. I don't like to witness drama. And that's why I think this morning, seeing all these rich people arguing just kind of like triggered me. Like, what the hell? Like, I wish I had that kind of money. I know exactly how to do that kind of money. And here you all have all this money and you guys can't seem to keep your life together. You guys can't seem to get things right and just live happily. Go shopping, get some ice cream, just chill out, just relax. They just can't seem to just be quiet. Like, I don't get it. I don't get that. I feel like, if I was in any of these celebrities' shoes and swap it, I would not be like that, because I would know what it's like to not have what they have. And if you have it, then if you stay in a grace attitude of gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, then why are you gonna keep trying to spark controversy and make yourself a target? Like, some celebrities just make themselves a target. They do for controversy and for drama and clicks and views, and I just don't get that. If I was a celebrity, I do the exact opposite. Like, I want nothing more than a happy family, a peaceful home, a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing, decorated home, good food, health, and that's it. And that's kind of how I want my life now as well. And that's how I keep it. It's just, I just want things to be okay. And I just think that maybe now, making this video towards the end of the year of 2020, I think just now having like a kind of a recap of everything that's been happening in the world and how things are getting worse, I'm like, you know what, like, this is, something's got to shift. Some things in our perspective has got to shift now, because people are saying that 2023 economically will get worse. I always say on a personal level, it will not get worse. Like, I already declared out loud, like, on a personal level for me, it will not get worse. I'm not gonna let it happen. But they're saying like, on a global scale, like economically, things could get a lot worse next year. And so that's crazy to me, that's what also rocks the boat a little bit. And then you have to figure out, okay, well, what are you going to do? And it goes on and on and on. Life just never seems to take a chill pill. So when life doesn't give you a chill pill, when life doesn't give you a moment to just kind of just like relax, you got to give it to yourself. I had to realize today, like, you just have to give it to yourself. You know, life may never give you the moment to grieve or to heal properly or to, you know, woosah. But then if life's not going to give it to you, and life is just constantly just rushing you over with responsibility and just drama and just pressures, then you have to give it to yourself. You have to give yourself that grace. You have to give yourself that time to heal. And you can't wait for somebody to say, here, I see you're overworked. Here, I see you're tired. Do you want to take a 15-minute nap? Do you want to, do some 20-minute yoga? Do you want to pray for 5 minutes? Like life, life is not going to give that to you. No one that you live with, your kids, nobody, your partner, like no one's going to give you and necessarily and say to you, hey, you've had a long day. Why don't you just take off your shoes and relax and just get a glass of wine? No one can read your mind like that, to the T, but yourself, knowing yourself. So, that's another realization I've had, this whole year is like, sometimes you just have to kind of break out of that regular rat race mold, that scheduling, that programming, and you have to kind of just go off the beaten path, and create that safe haven, that peace for yourself. Block out all the distractions, block out all the noise, and give that to yourself. Sometimes you have to just give it to yourself. And you may feel guilty, you may feel weird because you're not used to having that moment to just take a nap, or get a glass of water, or go in nature and walk. Sometimes you don't get that. If you work for somebody, your boss is certainly not going to give that to you. Or if you're even freelance, your clients, no one's going to give that to you. Like, you have to go out on your own and get it. It's also part of being an adult, but I'm saying in the wider context, like, you have to give it to yourself. Everything that you think you need from this world, you have to give to yourself first. The love, the comfort, the support, the reassurance, the peace, the tranquility, the clarity of mind, the prosperity. Like, it all starts from you giving it to yourself first, and then little by little it will reflect in your life, your everyday life. But sometimes you just have to kind of just take a step back and realize that, what maybe our own thinking or the way that we feel from other people, the pressures, or what people have, maybe somebody says something negative to you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you take it to heart. Sometimes you have to just realize that, like, it's up to you to listen. It's up to you to take it seriously. It's up to you to be offended even, Sometimes you just have to just, I don't want to say go on it alone, but sometimes you just have to bring yourself back to earth a little bit, and realize, okay, you know what, this is not working out for me, or I'm not happy with this, or I'm not happy with that, and I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna make an effort to change right now, right here, how I feel and how I handle, life's challenges, because there's no stopping life. Life is constant. Unless you die, life is always going. And that's kind of why I'm saying full circle, why some people, they get to that point where they can't live life. And if anyone's watching me and, you've been that person where you felt like taking your own life, only God can judge you. That's what I'll say. Some people, I just think that they just get in really bad places in their life, and they just can't go on. And some people, their natural reaction is to be like, oh, they're so selfish. Like, how can suicide be selfish? How? Like, I don't think it's selfish. I just think it's something that people just, sometimes they do, or they become addicts even because they cannot cope. And that's the point that people don't want to get to, is when they feel like they have to depend on a substance or depend on, outside validation or depend upon, you know, things like that to get by. That's the point of danger. That's where people should be afraid of. So that's why I'm saying, to put it into context, like this is why people have to give that grace to themselves. Because if you don't, life will overtake you. That's kind of how I felt earlier. Like my brain just froze. It literally froze. And I was like, you know what? This is not good. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of feeling like, I'm sick of feeling this pressure to achieve all these things I want to achieve. Of course, I want to achieve so many things, but it's like, okay, at what cost and what day, what time, what year? I mean, gotta be, not realistic is the word people hate when talk about manifestation, but like, like take a chill pill. You know what I'm saying? Like relax. Like it's not the end of the world, like if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You really have to just like relax, bro. Because feeling like that and overtaking yourself with all that type of stress, it can't be healthy. Like it just can't be healthy. It can't. And you're the only one, especially when you're a young adult, you're an adult, or especially if you got kids, you're married, whatever, you got even more responsibilities. You don't have time. You don't have time to be unstable in your mind. This is why so many people that have kids or are married are having breakdowns right now, because they're not stable in their mind. They have too much going on, too many people to answer to, too many things to do, too many places to go and see. They're just too busy. They got too much going on. And I always use celebrities as an example. This is why when you see in the media, or when you see people, these celebrities having these issues, because they don't have any balance in their life. You know what I'm saying? They don't have any moment to breathe. Can you imagine you're working, whether you're a model, you're an athlete, you're a celebrity, well, you're an actor, whatever you are, you're a singer, you're a writer, you're a rapper. Just an example, okay? And can you imagine, everything you do is basically being watched, for one. And then for two, you get off work, whatever, and someone's talking about you. I would hate that kind of life, So they're still human for the most part. And, that's a good example. Like, they're too busy, their mind is too active. Like they got too much going on. And just whether celebrity or not, just as an example, what these people need to do, or what we need to do, what I need to do, what all of us need to do, is just take a moment to say, what, is this benefiting me or is this harming me? Is my current lifestyle, is my current, family setup or events or whatever, your schedule, is it helping you or is it harming you? Is it helping you or is it harming you? That's what it comes down to. Is it making you sick? Is it making you unstable? Is it making you insane? Or is it making you flourish? Is it making you joyful? Is it making you content with life? If it's not bringing any of those positive emotions, not even peace, then why the hell is it in your life? And that's just kind of like the measurement that I've been going on this whole year, is like putting the health first, not last, because when you're putting your health last, your morals are soon to follow. Your personal boundaries are soon to follow. And then before you know it, it's like a hot ball of trash on fire. And you're like, what is that? And that's how, that's how a lot of people feel. Oh, it must be, my throat's dry. Must be time to go soon. Yeah. That's how a lot of people feel, They look at their year, they look at their relationship, they look at their life, and they're like, it's on fire, And that's because they haven't taken the time to just take a chill pill, bro. They just haven't taken the time to just be like, you know what? Something's got to change here, And that's all it takes, is a change in perspective. All it takes is a moment for you to say, you know what? Gotta go, my throat. Something got to change here. This is not working for me. That's all it takes, bro. But you got to give it to yourself. You can't wait for life to beat you down and hit you so hard that then you surrender. That's not the same thing, It's about prioritizing your peace, prioritizing your health. So thank you all for watching. I'm going to get off here. As you can hear, my throat is dry. I don't have any water on my table. I need to get some water now. So I'm going to get off here, y'all. Bye. Okay, see you later. Bye.